Hello, Pontiac Middle School. I'm going to continue with my instruction for the research. At this point, we have found our articles using credible sources using the school library database, and we have copied and pasted an article, and we have highlighted some of the important information. Now what I want to do is I want to look at the stuff that I have highlighted and make sure I put it into my own words so that I don't plagiarize when I'm writing my paper. So I'm not going to write my paper based on this article. I have my article open, and what I do is I open up another screen in Word, which is blank, and I read again what I highlighted. It says, "At least in this way, taking up arms, he could die on his own terms rather than theirs." So now what I have to do is word that in my own way. So first I'm going to put the title of this article. This was the Mark Edelman article, and I'm going to start bulleting now the information. So I go up here to bullet, and it said he can die on his own terms rather than theirs. So I'm going to say that Mark was in the Warsaw Ghetto, and he was part of the uprising. It was important to him that if he was going to die, he did it his way. Okay, so now it's in my words. I haven't plagiarized. I read the next thing I've highlighted. Only by dying as publicly as possibly, loudly, and with his gun blazing, could he let the world know what the Nazis were doing to the Jews in Poland. Okay, so again, it has to be in my own words. So I can say, Mark felt that through the uprising, it would help let the world know what was going on in the ghetto. Okay? Now I go back again. The odds were overwhelming. He was deputy commander of 220 untrained boys with pistols and homemade explosives. There were 2,000 Nazi soldiers. Okay. 220 boys versus 2,000 Nazis. Okay. I'm going to put the date down too, April 19th, 1943. And 6,000 Jews a week to the death camps. Actually, I'm going to put that one first. And now I'm going to go back to what it said here, how he was the deputy commander. They used pistols and homemade explosives. Okay, so Mark was the deputy commander during the Warsaw Ghetto uprising, as it became known. And he was working with boys that were not trained to fight and only had pistols and handmade explosives, bombs. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm looking back at everything that's highlighted, and now I'm bulleting from the article, and everything I'm bulleting is put into my words. So now when I write my research paper, I'm going to use this paper. This is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use any of that article. I'm not going to use anything highlighted. I'm going to use my information, and now I know it's in my words. I don't have to worry about plagiarism because I've already been making my notes in my own words. And when I write my paper, I'm going to use this as my guideline. I'm going to make sure I save it. Mark Edelman research article, something to that effect, however you want to save it, as long as it gets saved. And as long as now I have to do this with my other articles, but once I have this done, I can work on my paper and get the research paper done. Good luck with your research.